Three. How did I get three people looking at my video already? I just started it. All right. Hello and welcome to the Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates, and today we are going to answer a couple of questions. Now, let's just get started because I think that the answers to the questions are the most interesting part. As you know from watching my videos for the past several years, I've been building a product. And in the background, what you so I have my windsurf open in the background. It's building right now. It's doing something. Oh, actually, I can show you my product. I can show you my thing. Oh, no, I can't. All right, so it's building it in the background. But what I realized after all this time and energy is like this. Here's the logic. I remember that I've gone through a lot of iterations. If you're building an app, if you're doing some kind of project, like some kind of website, or you have some idea for a business, then remember you might start. This is how I started in the year of our Lord. I would say sometime around 2015. So 10 years ago, I remember when Tom sent me an email and he was trying to explain that I needed to focus on. So there's the app and the venue, and then there's the venue and the. Oh, so actually, I changed these words because I was having a conversation with somebody who was trying to develop an app. And I said, basically, all right, so Tom told me all this stuff like your app has to be able to enroll a venue, venue creates the profile, venue edits the profile. So in this case, for me, it would be like a customer. Enroll a customer creates a profile, and customer edits a profile. There's like all these different things. And he told me that it's like you just have to understand. And then there's info needed to be maintained, and then there's cross-cutting legal issues, and there's issues. So he sent me an email once with all these different things that you have to be aware of. I had no idea what he was talking about. What I understood was I was trying to create something at the time. It was called Do Checklist, Direct Outcomes Checklist from Tom's book. And if you know about Bubble, there's a website called Bubble, and then there was this other website that they were creating courses to help you to learn how to code with Bubble. And so I bought some templates. Now from here, well, actually, there's a couple of steps in between here where I tried to build some apps, but none of them actually worked out. This is me mapping Tom's book again. This is me about a year chart of how the information is passed around, the methodology behind the madness. Building my website. I didn't actually put it in there yet. I can tell you that this is what the website basically looks like. There you go. That's what it is. So this is the methodology and the website and everything put together. And I would say if you can describe your website like that, then you're probably 99%, 95% there. Because that's where I'm at. And I feel like I'm 95% there. All right. So what are these questions? Hold on. I need to make sure my audio is on. Because I connected Crisp today. I wanted to make sure that the audio sounded crisp. I think Crisp does a great job in removing the noise. Good. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I like Crisp. And then the other benefit of Crisp is that after the meeting, I can take the AI notes, I can create a summary, I could paste that summary into the description of the video. Okay, why am I so interested in this, in answering these questions today? The product is like 95% finished with Windsurf. I've been developing this for the last several months. In fact, I just found this thing today on Windsurf. Check this out. So it has this like thing called account activity. Maybe it was in May. I made a YouTube series where I was like comparing Cursor and Windsurf and Replit. And I decided that Replit was kind of a little bit difficult to use because everything was saved on the cloud. Now obviously there's some benefits to that. Because for example, there's like I take my dog for a walk every day for 2 hours. And well, my dog takes me for a walk every day for 2 hours. I would say that, there's a lot of times that I could have just, like, opened up Replit on my phone and just said, "Keep going. Okay, keep going. Okay, keep going." Like, nowadays, like, right now, there's, like see, right now, like, I feel like I use here, let me show you. So, it says architect it's, like, somewhere around 12 now. I don't know why it went all the way back to um, it's related to the dial. I'm trying to update the dial on my website for so this is what the website looks like right now. You can see that I have a projects page, an objectives page, a scoreboard page, the rapid race goal tracker. So right now it's like we've been working on this thing to add the what the heck is that? Let's not do that right now. Do we have to do that? Okay, so my name is Blaine apparently. And my name is Team Blaine. Get started. I think it deleted something in the background. It's working with Docker to change some of the columns in the database. So I think it just okay. So that's why we're using this dummy version is because it's still working in the background and it might mess things up as we're trying to show what we're doing. Anyways, this is the functionality of the website, and I was watching this one guy on YouTube. I thought it was really interesting. He's talking about how with AI, we'll probably be able to change the user interface much easier than in the past. And so then the thing is, the most important part of your website is going to be the logic behind it. And then there's going to be opportunities to enable the user to change things the way that they're seeing it, which I mean, some users are going to want to customize what they're seeing. Some users are not going to want to customize what they're seeing. And then you may find that certain types of users, they prefer certain types of dashboards. And then eventually you're going to settle on like 99% of users prefer A, B, or C. And then there's that 1% who has like a bunch of variations. Anyways, let's go to where. So the whole purpose, the whole concept behind the idea about where is like, where are you going? You could say that this is about like the whole project, like the whole vision of the project, the whole vision of the organization, the vision of the app. But as you know, I like to break things down into um, well, you have the let's call it the landing page. Now, this could be your home office. This could be your place of business, the store, place of work, this one, marketing, sales, and then you have your product development. Those are kind of the main three areas that I like to talk about when it comes to like a business. What is a business? Of course, as you know from following me from all these years, I do have like I do teach like online courses about like what is the essence of business? How do you break it down into the operating system of like what are the elements of business? So I can break this down into smaller pieces, but that's not the point. The point is like what is it? What is operational for you in your business? So where are we going? Where are we going? And then we have five vision statements, five vision questions that can help you to decide where are you going. Now, once you decide, like, so I think that once you decided where you're going, of course you have like an overall picture of like the whole business, but then you also kind of have to break it down into projects. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I gotta add a column. But this is where I don't really want to add a column because every business is because I think it's a little bit cumbersome right now. Because we need to focus on one thing at a time. Now, I would say that like everybody is I'm really focused on this concept of like launch. What does it mean to launch? Let's call it the soft launch. Soft launch. That's what I'm really focused on. It's like, okay, where are you going? Like, what is your vision? What is your soft launch vision? And then what's going to happen next is you're going to have to create some objectives based on your soft launch vision. So I'm talking to this one girl. She's this girl from Russia, and she's a marketing executive. I've been talking to her like at least once or twice a week for several years. And suddenly, I was talking to her last week, and she's like, "All right, so tell me, like, like, what are you gonna do to launch your your company? What's your plan?" And I think she's like, I think she was saying like, what questions, I think she was saying like, let's say I'm your marketing executive, like, let's say I'm the marketing manager for your business. What are the questions that you're gonna ask me? And I was like, I don't know, like, I'm just talk. It's just talk. You can look at my YouTube videos. You can see that I'm just talk. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea what to do. All I know how to do is ask questions and put some like thinking methodologies together. I don't really know what to do. So I just realized like you have to have the right questions. Okay, so then what are the right questions to ask? What are these magical questions that I'm gonna ask her so that we can get the answer? So what I've been doing over the last couple of days is I've just been like, whenever I come up with an idea, like I'm watching, I'm on Instagram or I'm watching a YouTube video, I'm trying to come up with like an idea of what should I be thinking about? What what is the answer to this question? So I really don't know. All this time and talk, and I just realized I have no idea what to do. Why? Because I've never done it before. But I think that's like are in the same place as me when it comes to like I nobody knows where they're going. So why don't worry about that. All right, so this is the first question I came up with. This is the first question I sent her. I said, "How are you going to figure out what the people are willing to pay for it?" Right? That's a good question. So you need a price, yeah. And then number two is like pick a date by when you will have conducted 10 paying customer interviews. What? Could- Pick a date by when you'll have conducted 10 paying customer interviews. See, this is the key, right? So I think that is instead of like this word soft launch, which doesn't really make sense, 10 paying customer interviews. There, see that's a destination. Where are you going? I'm going to the place where I have 10 paying customer interviews, right? That seems to make sense. I'm really afraid. I have no idea. Like I spent all this time. The easy part is coding because I just like Google windsurf, and then I just copy and paste, and then I just click enter. So then this is exactly what windsurf was just doing. It says, okay, so I'm going to update sprint 5 to do mark API update, I'll paste, and then it just goes through the whole process. I don't even know what the heck any of this says. And then what's the next step after that? Like building software is like it's ridiculous. It's what do I know about software? I don't even read this stuff. Okay, so look, it says once the AI is wired, you will perform manual UAT round 5. So that means once, it means I don't have to do it yet. So I just go over back to Windsurf and I paste whatever. All right, so it's saying API foundation is solid. The backend now speaks to Matrix. We need to turn the static dial placeholder into a functioning drag and drop zone. Matrix source dial the target, the data. I have no idea. about this dial down here, and we're going to talk about that today. All right. So this first step is called projects. And what did we just say? So I just I just said my first project is 10 paying customer interviews. So then what do I do is create your first project. Project is 10 paying customer interviews. Let's call it product interviews and fill out the vision. Okay, so what's filling out the vision? If we go back to here, you can see, look, where are we going? And then, so we want 10 paying customer interviews. That's our first project. And then it says five vision. That means there's five vision questions which we need to answer. What the heck? It just died. See, this is why we're not gonna use this page because it's like it's in the process of changing the code. So we can't use that very well. Okay. Some people might say, hey, well, your website, it doesn't actually have any AI. You're not using AI. And it's like, yeah, obviously. What do you mean obviously? Well, because there's two obvious reasons why I'm not using AI. First of all, everybody is using AI. Everybody has access to AI. So let's say that you're in a meeting and people are just like, hey, you're having some kind of a discussion, this company, and I'm having a meeting. There's two situations where I want to be working with my team. One is about like, I want my team to be able to think for themselves. And the only way that you're going to be able to know if your team can think is if you put down the AI and you ask them to do some thinking questions. Okay. What is the purpose of this project? What do you hope to achieve? What market are you competing in? What are some important characteristics of your customers? How are you going to win? All right. So I don't really see the connection between 10 paying customers and these five fishing questions, but maybe AI does. So in this case, I don't want to use my own brain. So let's say that I'm on the team and I'm like, I don't know what the answer is. Okay, so then just pick up some AI tool and it'll tell you the answer. Look at this. So you're now using Gemini 3 Pro. So I haven't used the Junior Vortex since the Gemini 3 Pro has changed. So okay, consider this project using these answer these questions. Now go get my vision questions. Now I think I want to add some more details to this prompt. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to just delete all. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to pop this open. Now it's very likely that the audio is not going to work for a couple of reasons. One is that windsurf is on, and also I'm doing a video live. So it's unlikely that all of these things are going to be able to work at the same time. Yeah, you see, so my windsurf, it says this is taking a long time. Please click retry. So it means that the The internet is going slow. All right, so I just wanted to mention a few things about this project before we get started. Now, right now, we're going to be talking about something that is not related to anything that we have been talking about previously, but because it has some connection with the marketing department, I want you to understand what this is about, and then I want you to help me to answer some questions based on a new project idea. So our application is getting very, very close to the point where we can launch it. And after we are, or maybe before, maybe after we launch it, we want to find some paying customers. And so there's going to be a lot of different ideas that we're going to be talking about in the next little while in order to understand where are we going to find some paying customers. And then the overall reason for this is because we have a goal to find 10 paying customers and talk to them about how they're using the app and where we can improve and what help do they need and how could we change things to make their lives easier. And so I want you to understand the context that we are going to be launching this product and that we need to find customers. And I want you to help me to understand how we're going to be finding customers and to think about what is the strategy behind how we might find these paying customers. So now we don't have to come up with the actual plan right now, but we just want to think about the general vision for what it means to find 10 paying customers and the path or journey that we might take in order to find those 10 paying customers. And then in the next couple of steps of the conversation, we're going to go into more detail into exactly the decision making process for how we're going to define the objectives. So, right now, we just want to have an overall vision and some vision statements that are based on some basic vision related questions. All right, so okay, that worked. Now I'm just going to paste in there and then click enter. Okay, so this is the other this is so I mean maybe you have a team and you're an old guy like me and you got some young whippersnappers. Hey guys, I want you guys to do some thinking. The whole point of these questions is to have your team to answer these questions. The whole purpose of the software, the software that I've been building, is it's a software for managers, and the manager can sit in front of their team. They can open paying customers. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about these five vision questions. We're going to talk about where are we going? Where are we? Let's change it to we. Where are we going, guys? And they're like, what do you mean, where are we going? I don't even know because I'm like 10 years old. It's like, yeah, well, we're all there. And then, like, I saw this one Instagram this morning. Then this chick is like, I got these 2 degrees and this other thing, and like, I can't find a job. Like, like some companies, like, they're saying that, like, I need to answer the telephone and listen to customer complaints. And it's like, what? That's the whole, that's business right there. Customer. I think I need to get a job as a customer. I've been like thinking about maybe I should get a job. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely trying to start a company and I've got like a piece of software, but the thing is like I'm not that proactive. Like I like inventing. I'm not sure I like the rest of the whole like business management process, and I don't know if I can stay motivated to do it or long enough to like make some money. Like I'm gonna try. Like that's the whole point of the software. It's like just for even like just some weirdo like me. Like if I follow this software, see my promise to you and to myself is that the point of this software is to help somebody like myself. It's actually a tool for myself. Like what if I don't want to do this business? What if I can't do this business? What if I'm not a marketing person? What if I'm not a salesperson? What if I'm not a CEO? What if I'm not all those things? What if I'm not a manager? What if I'm just a moron? Like what if I can't do it? And it's like, okay, well, maybe you can't do it. That's entirely possible. Like, if you may it's like, well, what if I wanna play baseball with my friends and, like, what if I can't hit the ball? It's like, yeah, well, if you're playing baseball with your friends, your choice is either you pick up the bat, you stand next to the plate, you wait for that ball to come at you, and then you swing. And you get 3 tries, like, just like everybody else, and, maybe you miss the ball once, maybe you miss the ball twice, and maybe you miss the ball 3 times. Then you walk back, you put your bat down, and you say, "Great," lots of people strike out. It's just the way it is. But if you never pick up the bat, then if you don't stand next to the plate, then you're not in the game, you're not playing. So it's like the game the question is, do you wanna play? Do you wanna at least try? So the whole point of this software is like, do you want a chance? Do you want a chance to play? And some people are like, well, yeah, I want a chance to play. And they're like, yeah, well, how do you play? Well, you got to manage people and projects. Okay, so how do I do that? You just create your first project and then answer those here's your questions. All right, well, I can't answer those question questions. I just don't know the answers. What's that? I'm too mentally tired, exhausted. Let AI do it for you. Project manager, this is a critical pivot. We are moving from strategy training to tactics again. Securing the first 10 paying customers who are willing to be interviewed is not just a sales goal. It is a product development milestone in the gym for the mind philosophy. These are our founding members. They are and the thing is that like this is the new vortex. This is the junior vortex. Now, remember we also have vortex has been with us the entire time through all of our marketing endeavors. We need to refresh the page so we can see the name of the vortex at the top. All right, we're being given the same prompt. Okay, uh, I've obtained 10 customer interviews synthesized from our established brand DNA and your new directive. Project Vision, founding 10. What is the purpose of the project? To establish a high fidelity feedback loop between the gym, the product, and the members, the users. The purpose is not revenue yet. The purpose is calibration. We need to convert assumptions into evidence. We are finding 10 users who will pay us not just with money, but with their truth, telling us exactly where the workout hurts, where the equipment is broken, where they're seeing the biggest gains. What do you hope to achieve? We want to validate the signal in the noisy market. We hope to prove that our gym for the mouth is a burning, painful problem which real people will swipe a credit card specifically want to identify moment at the exact point they realized the app was valuable, uncover the friction points where they wanted to quit the workout, get the language they used to describe their problems so we can feed it back into our marketing. What market are you competing in? The actionable leadership market, the framework niche. We're not competing with the generic AI, ChatGPT, or high-level guru Sinek. We are competing in the how-to market, defined by our research on Lenny Ratchitsky, Melissa Perry, and Atlassian. We are entering the space where ambitious professionals buy tools and systems to act on advice they read in books. We are competing for the business they usually spend on courses, templates, and productivity software. What are some important characteristics of your customers? They fall into two core personas, but they share early adopter traits. They are problem aware. They know they have a thinking management problem. They aren't looking to be inspired, they're looking for a fix. They are framework seekers. They likely already try to use mental models, SWOT, 5 whys, but struggle to do it consistently. They are hacker, 25 years old, ambitious, feels exposed without AI, wants a secret weapon to outpace peers. They are trainer, overwhelmed, tired of lazy AI, work from their team, want a system to force critical thinking. How are you going to win? By selling mastery, not just software. We will win by positioning the interview itself as a value add. We aren't just asking for their time. We're offering them a founder-led onboarding, the hook. Stop guessing, start thinking. We offer the only tool that acts as a forcing function for quality thought, the differentiator, unlike generic AI that gives answers, we give competence. We win because we make them look smart to their boss, not just AI. Next up for you, the vision sets the North Star as your junior vortex. I'm ready to move to the detailed decision-making process you mentioned. Would you like to proceed with defining the objectives, module 3 for this project? It already knows what to do. That's nice. I calibrated these Gemini bots like months ago, and they still know what's going on. Let's see what the senior vortex has to say. This is a pivotal moment, project manager. Yeah, I know it is. I'm like crying on the inside. Transition. Wait, let me just check to see if yeah, windsurf is still working. Yeah, I worked hard on this, man. I worked really hard on this, and now I need to make it work, like for real. This is a pivotal moment. Transitioning from building to selling is a foundational shift in gravity. We're moving from theoretical lab to the real world. As a senior Vortex, I see this project obtaining 10 paying customer interviews not merely as a sales test, but as our most critical research and strategy phase to date. In the gym for the mind analogy, this is the moment we let our first 10 members into the gym to see if the equipment actually fits their bodies and if the workout actually makes them sweat. Money validates the need, the interview validates the solution. Here are the vision statements for this project, grounding in our Gym for the Mind DNA and our actionable decision hub marketing position. Uh, project vision. What is the purpose of the project? The purpose is the strategic validation through high fidelity feedback. What did the other one say? All right, we can go back and forth and just look at these two different windows. What the dickens? What's established between the gym, project, product, and the members, the users. The purpose is not revenue, it's calibration. We need to convert assumptions to evidence. This is Vortex Junior. And then we go to Vortex C through high fidelity feedback. We're not looking for revenue through to keep the lights on yet. We're looking for the signal limits the noise of product usage. The user pays for their own money. Even a small amount proves the problem we solve is painful enough to warrant a transaction. The purpose of the interview is to understand why they paid. Where's the action bridge succeeded? Where the workout was too confusing, too hard. We're buying high fidelity data with our product. What do you hope to achieve? Product market fit calibration. Specifically, we want to confirm actionable gap is real. We need to identify aha moment. We need to gather social proof. These guys sound identical. Identify the aha moment. We need to get the language used to describe the problem so we can feature it into our marketing. The tickets. They have saying exactly the same answer. What market are you competing in? Goldilocks zone of team productivity. We're not competing against enterprise software Jira Asana purely for execution. We're not competing against blank canvases. We're competing against the bridge market, the space between ideas. The space between the idea. That's insanity. I picked a name for this for my YouTube channel. How many years ago? Uh, what, 4 or 5 years ago? I call it the space between ideas, and I built a product. And the second the product is built, I asked it to create a vision. And it tells us that we're competing for the bridge market, the space between the idea and the task. That's insanity. It means we made it. Here it is. The Goldilocks zone of team productivity. Hmm. Psychologically, we are competing against the incumbent spreadsheets, chaotic meetings, mental laziness, a desire to just ask AI for generic answers rather than doing the work. Oh, oops. What are some important characteristics of your customers? Okay, so they're methodology geeks. They likely already try to use frameworks like SWOT, OKR. They're frustrated with chaos. They feel the pain of great meetings, bad follow through. The value process, they're willing to tolerate bugs of a V1 product because they're just desperate for a structure it provides. They're coaches. They view themselves as mentors to the team, looking for tools to help teach. We're going to win. High touch consultancy, the gym trainer approach. We cannot compete on ad spend or feature relationship expertise. We offer their interest selling a $10 app. We're giving them direct access to the founder methodology, experience retreaties. Okay, this is interesting actually, because this is gonna now that we have this vision, then now the thing is that now we're gonna move to why are we doing this? So all those things that we just mentioned in the vision, it has none of those are really actionable. It's just the vision. And now we need to take that vision, we need to feed it into our machine. And our machine is like, okay, so okay, what are we gonna do? And I can't open up the app because it's just not working. What if I refresh the page on my piece of software? Says this site can't be reached. It's not doing well. Anyways, the dial, it's like I think the win broken because I think when I started up, I'm doing a YouTube video and I was doing an audio in Gemini and I was doing Windsurf all at the same time. And it's just there's like it's something spinning, but nothing's really happening. I think it's stuck. All right. Anyways, I don't care if it's stuck. Let it be stuck. Okay, come back to reality. All right. Now, so we got the brainstorming questions. Now, what's the point of the brainstorming questions? Let's go down. So, your first 10,000 user blueprint. Identify your viral marketing message. Spoiler alert, your product is not what people care about. People care about what your product can do for them. Do not sell the features, sell them transformation. The content is not there to sell and explain all the functionality. The content only purpose is to drive the click. Market research. Find viral content within your niche. Capitalize on trends, low hanging fruit views. Create content. Hire creators on the results only basis. How to put together a team consistent viral creators. Okay, to the vision statement. It says something about like offering coaching. So by offering coaching, then you're going to be able to work directly with your potential customers. I'm dying here. All right, well, just do it the easy way. If you can do it the hard way and you can do it the easy way, why not do it the easy way? All right, do it the easy way. What's the easy way? What's the easy way? Well, let's go. Okay, so let's just go down and get those five brainstorming questions. Got a warning on my YouTube that my video's not working. Nobody's happy. Chris Bond as well, so everyone's trying to use my internet. You okay, Gordon? You good? I think it's okay. All right. Would you like to proceed immediately defining objectives? Yeah. So the first question is like, okay, so how many objectives do you think you might set up? So one of the issues here is like, so since the first module in the brainstorming module is called imitate or trends. So the question is, like the first step to innovation is understanding the landscape. Look at what competitors, industry leaders, or even successful entities in other fields are doing. Identify current trends is key to seeing opportunities. How are others doing it? Have you figured out best practices? Talk to experts and follow trends so that you can keep up with what's going on. Provide examples. So the thing is, like at this point, then Gemini is gonna have to make some decisions, like what examples are applicable in this case. And so that's why I prompted it like with the question, hey, so how are you going to make a decision of what are the applicable cases? Because there's a lot of like you can't actually see what I'm looking at. So I'm inside of excuse me. Inside of Vortex, I already gave the prompt to the first Vortex. Say, I said, I wrote, how many objectives do you think we need to set up? Should we start with an exhaustive list of potential objectives where we are considering what we might have several teams that we might have several teams that are competing against each other, working on their own series of objectives, and then we can do some A/B testing or even ABC testing, or should we just make one set of objectives that I'm going to work on? How do we decide on the precedence? I don't think that's the way it's with precedence to include in the first question of the brainstorm. How do we decide on the precedents to include in the first question of the brainstorm module? Okay, so what's this? The question is like, okay, so which examples are we going to be using? What trends? How are we going to make a decision about the trends? How are we going to make a decision on case studies? Because there's a lot of case studies out there. There's a lot of different, like I keep watching these YouTube channels and there's like always something interesting that people are talking about. Like, so I'm like, I was watching this one YouTube, it's like, well, you gotta do this. So you gotta identify your viral message. And the thing is that the image that he presented is this idea of like your social media message, it only has to get them to the next step of the sales funnel. And then the next step, like you're not trying to like sell them. You're not trying to like get them to spend money on their first click. Oy, oy, oy. Mm. You're just trying to get them to what? So the question is, you have your marketing message, and where is it you're trying to send them with your marketing message? And like, but no, because I got the whole point is if you have the questions, you don't have to know. So if I'm the manager, the thing is like I want to hire smart people. And the thing is that I want my people to be smart, which means I want to feed them the right kinds of questions. If I feed them the right kind of questions, they're going to give me the kind of answers that I'm looking for. If they give me the answers I'm looking for, then we're going to be making some money. Now, since I don't have like a team of people that I can ask, I'm just asking AI. And then if you have people on your team, then the question is like, are they going to come up with their own ideas or are they going to ask AI? Probably it's going to be a mixture of those two things. But the question still remains is, are you asking your team the right kinds of questions so that you can get the right kind of answers? So here it is, the project manager. This is a critical strategic junction. You ask three questions. How many objectives? Should we use competing A/B testing? How do we decide on imitate precedence with a T? Here is the senior Vortex strategic protocol for this specific phase. Huh? You're not the senior Vortex. You're the junior Vortex. Strategy arrow, one target. We do not use competing teams. Do not A/B test your internal source resources. At this stage, finding your first 10 customers, splitting your forces is fatal. You do not have enough traffic or volume to statistically significant data from an A/B test. And if a team A gets 0 customers and team B gets one, you haven't learned anything about it. It could just be luck. Protocol. Identified front. The entire marketing department, you, me, junior, works as one team. The objective, we focus 100% of our energy on a single hypothesis until it's proven or disproven. Why? We need signal. If we try 5 things and fail, we won't know why. If we try one thing this with massive intensity and fail, we know the fact that the channel doesn't work. Number two, obsess objectives. It's 1-3-5 rule. We need one primary objective supported by 3 key results. Primary objective, what? Secure 10 high-fidelity paying customer interviews, founding members within the next, for example, 30 days. How? We measure their progress. We outreach volume, contact X qualified prospects per week, conversion rate, achieve Y percentage reply rate to your concierge offer, feedback, complete Z hours of recorded interview, deciding on the precedents. This is the most important part of your brainstorming preparation. Imitate. Who do we look at process competitors, people who have solved the problem of getting their first 10 customers before. Recommend precedent A, do things that don't scale. Paul Graham from Stripe. The mom test, Robert Fitzpatrick. The consultant model, traditional coaching. The brainstorming launch. We are ready to start module 1, brainstorming. Imitate. Based on the above, I have prepared the opening prompt for the imitate session. Shall I trigger the imitate module? Yes. See, but this is the thing. So that's the question. Is that the right precedent to be comparing against? We jump into the actual senior. Okay, all right. So as we mentioned, huh? In fact, I don't know who this is, but it seems to understand the project. So it's like some kind of vortex. Maybe it's Vortex Junior. Just imagine it could be Vortex Junior. I don't know who it is. Who's the other one? Vortex Junior 1. All right, so this has to be Vortex Junior 2. Do not create multiple competing objectives. How do we decide on precedence? Decide on which precedence by asking who has solved a specific problem before and what mechanism did they use. Okay, let's actually fill out. Okay, so step one, imitate the prompt. Uh, uh, Here are four standard models. Here's the four. Manual concierge, do things that don't scale. Okay, so this is Stripe, Airbnb, uh, direct outbound, cold outreach, LinkedIn, build in public, content inbound, beta wallet, scarcity. Ideate. So, okay, so what if you're not happy with the precedents? I'm not really sure if I'm happy with the precedents. I don't know. But the thing is, do you have some other idea that you want to test other than what it's saying? Yeah, I guess. Like I saw this dude on Instagram yesterday and he was showing me some stuff. He was like, you should go on Reddit. And on Reddit, there's like all these groups. You can talk to people in these groups. Okay, well, that would be cold, right? That would be a cold outreach. This would include Reddit. I don't know. What should I do? Ah, nice. Oh no, that's ClickBounce. I got two projects going on in Windsurf, and looks like ClickBounce is working. The dials, huh? The dial's working again. I thought it was dead. Somehow it started working again. All right, so Windsurf is still running in the background. It's literally be running this. It has literally been running this task for however long it's been. All right, now, so as you can see, I'm starting to get stressed out. I'm just like, yeah. That's why I have these 5 questions. And then if you can't make the next step, then what? Then you just use AI. So then what do you do? Just yes? All right, just put yes. Okay, good. All right. Just put yes. Worst thing that can happen, worst possible scenario is that it produces something I don't agree with. But honestly, like let's say I'm in a meeting with a bunch of people. What's the worst thing that happens? Somebody gives me some kind of advice, and I say, that's an interesting idea, and I can one up that. What? I can one up that? Yeah, but you can't one up zero. What's? I mean, technically you could. You could just. I don't know how to like mathematically. What does that mean? Zero multiplied by one is still zero. So how do you one up zero? Well, you can just add one, but that doesn't make sense because it was zero. So we're not actually adding to one. We're not adding to zero. Okay. Anyways, let's see what this guy had to say. We're executing one team, one objective strategy, 10 high fidelity. I have it preloaded. The step request. Okay. Instruction. I can't read it. My brain just went blank to do things that don't scale. There's got to be some kind of answer at the bottom. Does this list of persons feel complete? Yes, this is a solved list. No. Okay, question first. How are others doing it? We have figured out the best practices from what are the best practices? 2025 trend founder led video outreach. Emails are dead. The highest conversion rate in 2025 come from one-on-one personal videos sent via LinkedIn direct message by the founder. Our limitation is that you can record a 30-second personal video, announce their LinkedIn profile content as a hook. Consultant president, high touch. You position the interview as a strategic session where they get value rather than a user touch where they do work with. Okay. Bomb test script, conduct interviews that focus. Okay, but how do you get the interviews that don't they link? They didn't link send a link. You know? See the so the okay, but I mean, so you have to prepare an interview. Yes, you have to prepare a video. Okay, and then what? And then you have to like send that video to 10 people. Okay, well, how did you get 10 people? So we have to find out the rules on LinkedIn about how many videos you can send people. But the thing is that like what I was just mentioning earlier was this video I saw. The dude was just like, hey, here's 10 or 20, here's 20 Reddit groups where you should start sending people messages and get like, get become part of the group because all these people they're expecting to try out your new SaaS product. That's all they do is they talk to people about new potential opportunities and building SaaS products together. All right. Let's just do a little bit more work and then that'll be excellent. Let's move past ID. What just happened? Rent and SEO, Chief Strategy Officer. Strategy cleanup session. Twist the price for consulting session is 1 year license for the app. Script for the software they're paying for you. Expert coach the software. First podcast strategy. I interview them. Biggest challenges. Social first brand. I like this because I saw something the other day. It's like this podcast. I think I did Odd Match. Here it is. I saw this the other day. I thought, that sounds interesting. Podmatch automatically matches ideal podcast hosts and guests for interviews while streaming the process. Exactly. In my podcast, sometimes it's really hard for me to be difficult for you to answer questions too, but at least if you have somebody who's listening to you and asking you questions, then we can find like your area where. So it's like, what's it called when you're like the blind spot, startup blind spot, business blind spot, something blind spot, or just spot blind spot. So welcome to the Spot Podcast, Blind Spot Podcast, Blind Spot Podcast, Blind Spot Podcast, Blind. My name is Blaine. It's the blind. Hi, my name is Blaine. This is the Blind Spot. Blind. It sounds so weird. Blind Spot Podcast. Hey, welcome everyone. This is Blind. Welcome to the Blind Spot Podcast. Anyways, this sounds like a great idea. Everyone's podcasting, and then my podcast. Basically, my podcast is basically what we do here is I'm just questions all together. I've got like 5 questions about your vision. I want to know what is the vision, where are you planning on going, why do you do what you do? Let's brainstorm about like what are the objectives that you're pursuing. Let's make some choices about what are those the best objectives to pursue. Then we're going to be talking about how to turn those objectives into a task list. That's the why. The why is like why? Why do we do what we do? Well, we spent lots of time thinking about why. Why we're going to do it? Well, we went here, so we have like a foundation of brainstorming. We have a really good idea about how we made that choice, and then we turned it into the task list. That's why. All right, how? How? It's like all right. So now when we go into how, the question is how will you do it? One guy he was saying like I don't know, like it's more important to remove blockers than it is to like tell people that they're doing a bad job. You could say, "Hey, come on, what are you going to do today? What's going on? Why aren't you doing this? Hey, I expect more from you." It's like, well, okay, but like, what? I mean, why don't we just focus on like the blockers? So we got 5 follow-up questions to help people remove blockers and update their task list. Now we get eventually we're going to get to the granular, meaning like what now, what next. Okay, so what are you doing with your time? So we take the guys from see because how this is going to be like a team task list. This is all of your task list apps, your ClickUps, your Viras, whatever that thing's called, your money.com. That's this row. And then the question is like, how do you turn now? Some of those apps also have subtasks. So when I'm talking about subtasks, so this is for one specific individual. Let's say that I'm assigned some subtasks. So for me, these are my tasks, and then I have to take those tasks. I have to turn them into subtasks. Now, like for me, that's called the Rapid Race Goal Tracker. So I got the Rapid Race Goal Tracker. It's part of my app, which is currently getting Windsor is still working on it. So the thing about the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker is that like these are all the tasks you're going to assign to one guy on your team, and then he's going to break them down into like subtasks. And then each day you're going to move that thing. And then when we talk about blockers, when I have like a one-on-one with you, I ask you those questions. What I'm asking is like, okay, what task are you on right now? And they're like, well, I'm on day one. Okay. Flashcards while walking. So did you do this yet? No. Why? I don't know. It's boring. Okay, so boring. We need to figure out a spark trigger. Oh, I don't know. It's too difficult. Okay, it's too difficult. We need to figure out a facilitation process. All right, so we got to remove the blocker. Oh, I need to contact somebody. Oh, you need to contact somebody. All right, how are we going to solve that? Oh, I need a new password, or I need this software, or I need. See, the thing is about like once you cut it down into subtasks, it's a lot easier to remove blockers. All right, so this is also in my software, the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker. Rabbit Race, Rabbit Race. So it says pick two and then decide which task is a priority. Now, as you can see, I got my architect in the background. Here's the dial. So when it comes to, here's the context. So the API is ready, application, Rabbit Race Goal Tracker, blah, blah, blah. You know, the dial UI wired, ready for manual UAT. So like I'm literally like this is where I'm at in designing my app. I'm on the last two little bits. Like it's like the software is right there. It's right on the edge. Now, but I could start a podcast even without the actual software. So I can because I've conducted like so many. I got a message from the platform where I do coaching, and they sent me a message today. They said, "You've coached." What did they say? It's my because it was my anniversary yesterday. You've coached 552,000 students. 552,000 students. I think I'm ready to start a podcast. Podcast. Reddit. Outreach. LinkedIn. Outreach. Podcast. All right, we're going to leave that there. I got this meeting with this girl on Thursday, so we're going to have some time to think about this before Thursday. Then I'm going to talk to her, and we're going to come up with some objectives. I'm going to plug that back into the remaining 4 brainstorming modules. Then we're going to throw that into the choose modules. We're going to throw that into the objective task list. So we're going to turn these objectives into some task lists. So the way it works, space between ideas. I'm Blaine Gates.